cannot stay for long. So I was talking like, what makes me to go for social work. I did not study social work. I got the opportunity, but I missed it. I got the opportunity to join social work in Viola College, but I missed it. Somehow I took economics because I did my BA economics, so MA economics. I applied. When social work was offered, I still took economics. But the whole atmosphere, me, I am a social work student. I studied short-term course in School of Social Work. Then I did a lot of work and I belong to the first set of community organizers from India, professionally trained by Saul and Caesar and Follow. You'll probably get to know about these two people who have changed the world from development to organizing. Service to kind of organizing. You must also might have heard, for a crying child, for a hungry man, don't give fish. Teach him to
Fishing. Teach him how to.
What is the difference? If you give him a fish, he will happily eat. Next day, you will wait for the fish to be given.
He is always
Dependent. And expecting. Stretching his hand. But if you teach him to fish, he can fish to the extent that he is capable of. For his needs, maybe he can give, he can serve. So you will not blame others. He has to work. So this is the basic thing that for a hungry person, don't give a fish, teach him to fish. The second one is power and justice. Power without justice is tyranny. Justice without power is impotence. So power and justice has to go together. These are the two basic things from Follow Furry. They are US-based great organizers. Early 70s, I was selected by the Community Organization Board in Chennai. The first set of thinkers who want to think differently from community service to social service. How about organizing people? This is an ecumenical team in Chennai. Again, ecumenical means that belongs to all the churches and all the communities. So the senior most social workers of Chennai those days and the churches joined together at a committee. And they wanted to experiment community organization in India. Because there was a bishop in Chennai, Bibin, who has been very, very dynamic. There are people like Murdoch Mackenzie, Felix Sigedara, and Sister Fallin, Sister Tiffin, all from Stella Maris College, and Ambuja Mal and Mary Klabala, all those people. They said, why not we try something? So they formed a ecumenical network and wanted to take something to try. And earlier I come from an average, very marginalized family from a village. My parents worked hard to put all of us, we are 3 sisters and 2 brothers, I am the youngest. So with much difficulty, they put all the children into education. So when I was joining school, elementary school, my eldest sister was already a teacher. So that gap, say about 25 years gap, those days. So I could see how the education could help us to make our lives better. Living in a rural village, living in a thatched house, when the rain comes, we still feel all the water is coming. We have to keep the books under the table, under the bench, and put gunny bag around. And if for this excess rain, you have to put the straw vehicle, put it on the wet floor, then put gunny, then put a kind of mat that's supposed to take care of your wet place and sleep. So these are some of the things we have. And we have got only one light, Kadavarati. 3 of us has to study. So early 50s, electric light has come. And that was the time we had this, also the drought. Not drought, what we call the exact word? Famine. We got imported rice and imported wheat from China. US. The rice, sometimes it gives an excellent smell, much more than the stronger biryani. You cannot eat. Otherwise, it gives a foul smell. That is the kind of rice being distributed. And wheat was very new, so South Indians cannot eat. If you say you are eating roti, that means you are sick. That's a standard. So those are the days, childhood. And walking from home to school is about 4 or 5 miles. And afternoon you have to run home to have your lunch and go back. And that was the time Kamraj introduced midday meals, even the high schools. So if you have to take your plate, and if you are taking your plate, other children sometimes who are richer children look at you. And the school finals, you have to go to school to study under one tube light in one class, 40 children night studying and sleeping on the bench and come back. These are the early days. Made people like me to commit. We should work for the community. So after my school, I came to college and I had a free hostel. These are the, otherwise we would have struggled and studied, but they gave a comfort. And again, luckily during my college days, when I came to Chennai, though my sister was living in Chennai, I was new to Chennai. So one of my brother's friend gave me a cycle to cycle about 10 kilometers from Triplicane to Vaishnava College. I belonged to the first set of Vaishnava College. The DJ Vaishnava College.
DJ Vaishnava.
I was the first set. Now, a few months back we went there to see the present setup. So different. Yeah. And everybody was standing up to welcome. We thought as if we are great because I studied 65, 68. Now, people who are born in 65, 68 would also be retired now. So nobody is there, excepting some remnants. The Krishna temple there and this classroom there and that some kind of thing. So we are so happy to go to the college and see. Those days we have 240 students. Now 8,000 children are studying there. My goodness, amazing. Anyway, so studying in a college days, I was, because of money, you keep 10 rupees for the month. So how do you spend 10 rupees in a month? You have to keep very careful. But if you spend 50 paise for in the railway, there is a canteen. If you eat someday, then how you have to get 10 rupees back. Anything which is broken 10 rupees, you feel afraid your wealth is gone. Those 50 paise, 1 rupee is important. That is how you have to manage your. So he was involved in free services like planning forum, social service, garden club. These are things where you can do free. So I joined all these co-curricular activities which gave me opportunity. I was also associated with that. Through that contact, I came to know there is an international organization which is service oriented. Several colleges. Walk into Ithraj College when you are a secondary student. It's like very protected. Walk into Stella Maris College, it's very protected. Walk into Queen Mary's College, it's prestigious. Not only Church College, ladies' colleges, because of intercollegiate social science league. Second, itself I was associated, very active, so I could go to the colleges, not to see the students, to see the principals and the staff who are in charge of the activities. That gave us a kind of confidence. When people are wanting to come to college to look at others, we go to the college, the reception, and go to the principal, etc. That was great. So also I got into an international organization called Service Civil International, which again work for basically service. There we had the opportunity of interacting with foreign volunteers. So that gave the confidence of interacting without any limitation. English, I had a very good teacher in my 10th standard and 11th standard who taught English. So 11th standard I could write to my friend in the other school of English postcard. So this English postcard was taken by my headmaster one day test time. Somebody in the school getting a letter in English. That was a very, very happy, prestigious one. And identify. I said, "Oh, you get a letter in English? Yes, sir. Can you write letter in English? Yes, sir. Can you write now? Yes, sir." See, we got a student who can write English letter. So this has some of the opportunity, was the opportunity to gain confidence and work with the marketplace. So all through the college days, we did a lot of work in the city slums, and it is fire, and it is daily cleaning, etc. Instead of bathing the children, we help them to understand. That's the so it is a college. So I got friends in all the colleges, and I was subsequently during my PG, I had become the president of the Madras Women's Social Service League. Those days I had about 4,000 students from Madras Christian College to Madras Medical College to Law College to Engineering College to all the colleges. So all the college principals and the NSS, not NSS, those days called Social Service, professors, members were there. Our president was the female college principal. And I had some of my contemporary students in female college and Stella College become IAS officers. So those days we used to walk into the college any day, any time, talk to the principals. So these are the confidence level we got it. So once we complete the college, what to do? This is where a real dilemma comes in. One is what is study. I am so happy nowadays you are focused. Those days, college mucha polo. College mucha idana valak.
Finish college and government job mostly.
So the government job was not a. Somehow I did not took serious interest in getting a government job. As a result, I have to look for something. I worked as a journalist in an English newspaper for about 2 years. I was not happy. That was the time this community organization offered us job. It's way back in 72. They selected, they want me to go to US for my training. In USA? Going to USA and free? That means they are going to get your ticket, everything. Free. So I went to US 72 and it was shortly for a week because my trainer changed the training center from US to Philippines. He said, guys, we are going to Philippines. So by the time we could stretch our leg in Chicago for a week, we were packed and brought to Philippines. Philippines, we are one of the biggest slums in Asia. Tondo slum, that was made our home, work, everything. We were there for 6 months, understanding the community, challenges, problems, and working together. That gave us really a lot of hope, how to change this stuff, helping how to kind of hand over people. That was the time now, unfortunately, martial law came in the Philippines. So people question why foreigners are staying here. Are you Chinese communist people? Because Philippines is kind of mostly Americanized. So you cannot stay here. Then the church said, no, they come from Indian churches, etc. They are here on a understanding community. They said, nothing to you, we will pack you up. So we came to Singapore, Malaysia for the rest of the 2 months and we learned to know further, deeper our understanding. We're returning back in Chennai, we started the community organization. Today, some of the top women leaders are working with us those days. So we trained around 20 people across the country and 2-3 years we were working hard in the slums, Vyasapadi, Kanigagaram, Burma Colony, Kuppusamy. These are the areas we are working. We were training them on rights based. Ask for your rights. Then in the process I realized it is not only rights. Rights has to go along with the responsibility.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you keep shouting and asking for it. Then what next? It will not, everything will not come down just like that. So you have to understand rights and responsibility. Then I said, I need to look for something different. So after working 2.5 years, this experience, that is time I got married also. Then I joined a kind of an organization supported by Sweden called Swallows in India. This Swallows is a project taken by the NGO called Swallows in India. Early 60s, slums were being cleared from the city. The slum people, one of the big bunch has been put in Tandiyarpet, outskirts. Those are the outskirts those days. This side Tandiyarpet, this side Kuppusamy is an outskirt. Now Kuppusamy is very much out of the city.
Out of the city. Kannaginagar where we are.
Yeah, so these are the areas. So I joined there, took a break, came out and joined there. That's where they are doing the economic activities. Welfare economics. So I was invited to look after the economic activities. This is where I thought, okay, responsibilities, rights. So I went there, I started now the first thing, that organization was exporting handicrafts made by the slumpies. About 80 women, 20 men, out of 20, about 15 are handicapped. About 100 people are working there. It is an economic activity and 80% of the products are being exported. I do not know ABC of exports. My colleagues were doing the exports. So they, as manager, used to bring me papers to sign. I asked them, yesterday I gave some papers which is 26 signatures. Today only I am doing 20. Why 6 signatures missing? That is sort of a first line. How many signatures you put? Why today last signature? Then they said this paper is not required, sir, that paper is required, sir, etc. So within a few months I learned what that is. Then I also started working with the people. So I said work while you work, play while you play. They said economic activities, that said welfare activities. The welfare activities manager asked these women to come according to his timing. I said we cannot come according to your timing. This is a kind of work time. You have a flexible time. You invite them after the work. Or tell us what for you need them and give them a short time so that they do not lose their work. And the women working for a service organization, an economic activity, they are not that serious. First of all, we have to ensure quality. Second, ensure time. Third, ensure discipline. It is a big task. I could make them to quality, which is good. Time was just very difficult, so we have to introduce incentives, etc. But discipline was a problem.
Most important.
But at the same time, I know that we are working for a service organization, we need to be flexible. For example, women will bring their breastfeeding children to the work site and put a tuli and leave the children work and they work. He said perfectly all, no problem. But what happened, many a time, one particular woman will feed a child lying down. Probably that's a habit. But in the process, mother will sleep, child will get up and walk away. This has become a routine. Other women started complaining, it is not me, other women started complaining. So she sleeps more than 1 hour. 15 minutes instead of feeding, she sleeps 1 hour. Other mothers are away and working. What should I do? I said, I cannot check. If I go closer, it will be seen as a different issue. But at the same time, I have to, so I ask the other women to note down. And I have to take some action against her. Tell her, you feed the child, no problem. Go sit and feed, take 15 minutes, come back. She could make this as an issue. This has become a kind of union. Then people started forming a union. And I became the first person to sign the application to join the union. They said, sir, you are a manager. I said, so what? I am also a worker. Union is meant for all of us. I am doing my job, you are doing your job. So in between, somehow the union means it's supposed to be workforce, etc. Then I went to the Labour Commissioner. I brought the Labour Commissioner for flag hoisting one day because I cannot invite him otherwise, flag hoisting. Then I was explaining all these issues. And this man said, I could understand that, sir, but unfortunately, I have to support the workers. I said, if I'll be, she is not an enemy to me. I want to develop discipline, what is the discipline? Then we had given her additional compensation. We said, you go. So there I learned how to build up, work on quality, time, discipline. And export commitments. That is where I realized equality, equity, work, all those things. This is what sometimes mid-70s, probably mid-40s and 50s globally, following World War II and the famine, Western volunteers are coming to developing countries. India was those days called third world country, then developing countries. Now we are getting ahead to developed country. Soon we will be one of the developed countries. So when they come here, they see people who have come to visit poorest areas like in Bihar, etc., where there is not enough food to eat. All sorts of things here for survival, not to eat, etc. And they want to help people. So, but at the same time, women especially do some crafts. So they used to buy the crafts in their suitcases, take it to their countries, sell it in the churches, or sell it in the shops or exhibitions, raise money and bring back. This is how it started, and sometimes 69, UNTAC, United Nations Trade and Commerce, they had a conference, World Conference in India. The theme was trade not aid. That was the theme of the conference, which is very well. Don't give aid. This is again a proverb. For a hungry man, don't give him a fish. Teach him to fish. So this concept has come in. So people started encouraging, doing something what you are good at. Make something different, which we can sell it to people. And then it was sort of a charity, some development, some supporting, etc. Slowly it has changed. So this is the time that I was exporting from swallows. From anything you do, instead of anything you do, why don't you do a perfect thing? And instead of going to support groups, why not go to mainstream? So that was the time that now doing early 60s, mid 70s. But at the same time, having seen the people, responsibilities, this is run by an NGO, that economic activity, and luckily during the 2 years when I was there, we could make some profit. So I encouraged the management, can we convert into a workers' cooperative, where workers manage themselves, realize that thing. Management also felt economic activity cannot be widely run by an NGO, why not we do that? So it took this as a model cooperative. I worked with the training college. There are lots of limitations in the cooperative movement. You become a member, but the cooperative is controlled by government. We took away some of the classes. We said, it has to be completely controlled by the women. Government cannot touch the money, etc., etc. The training college was kind enough to give us work on this, make this as a model cooperative society. So 77, I had converted into a society. Before that, the savings, we have found out how long they have been working. So their settlement has been done like an industrial company. If you close a company, you have to give compensation, you have to give escalation, you have to give PF, you have to give gratuity, everything has been given. And we did a little bit of gimmicks. When the money was given, we made the bank to come and sit there, cooperative bank to come and sit there. And we said how much you are getting 12,000 rupees. 12,000 rupees, and how much money you really need for your daily work, how much money you want to save, how much money you want to contribute or share for the cooperatives. So whatever you want to save for the cooperatives is gone to cooperative account. So whatever you want to save, the bank is there straight away. Whatever money you want to take, pay until that you get a fresh currency note. 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee, 10 rupee currency note. When people saw the currency note, you don't feel fresh one, you don't feel like spending it. So he said, you keep some money, you spend some money like that. So when it was Kuppusamy promoted, then I thought I should not stay there. I came out. Then we considered why not to help similar groups. So we help them. Many groups do good products, but finding marketing was a challenge. And he was getting good market. So he said, how to avoid. So we worked, identified lots of groups, and I said I want to work marketing linkages, keeping marketing as a thing, work back up to capacity building and savings, etc. So I started a first organization in 78, a network organization working with groups who are in modern life. This organization was money you create this month, 50,000 is coming, next month 1 lakh is coming, and you pay money and you take money, and transactions are there in a service organization, 10-15 lakhs a year. Some people get married. So the committee which was managing, they are not effective. So out of frustration I said, I am leaving, I am not leaving. That was the time. You must know, you might have known Oxfam. Oxfam is a UK charity, started in the early 50s. Ox means Oxford, Fam is famine. Oxford Famine Relief Committee. They started in early 52 in UK. Philanthropists, etc. in UK. They started Oxford Famine Relief. That has become subsequently the Oxfam. This is how many countries they started. Oxfam has grown up one of a big global charity helping social development, empowerment, livelihood activities across the world. In India, during 70, there are about 5 offices, 6 offices. The first office was in Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Odisha, etc. They have the offices. There are project offices who receive requests from NGOs. They visit them, find out their need, and work on projects and give funding and get them. And as part of that, they also had a bridge program. In order to strengthen the charity in the UK, they created a subsidiary company called Oxfam Trading. The trading is to buy products from supported groups mainly, or cooperatives, and sell it commercially in the UK. And in UK, they had about something like 1,000 charity shops which were selling second-hand things. It could be second-hand books, second-hand clothes, second-hand anything in the world. When I say clothes, it's not dirty clothes. They use it to wash it, they look fresh. And if you go to some other shop, you feel like taking one. During my first trip, when I do not know the weather, I could pick up some of the warm clothes from there. And you can leave your unwanted clothes. There are volunteers who could wash, press, and repair, make things solid and sell. This is how they are raising money for charity. And some of the shops they converted to sell the imported products. Then suddenly, slowly they started creating their own shops. They sell exclusively products. So they had a bridge program called visiting these groups, looking at the livelihood activities, encourage them, train them, support them, and help them to sell to Oxfam Trading. So they invited me to join them in 82. So that is how I joined Oxfam, or a bigger organization, with my experience of 15 years in development sector, training, etc. I know fair trade. It was called alternate trade before. So when I joined Oxfam, I had the opportunity of traveling South India. I was in charge of the 6-7 states: Andhra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Panchu. And occasionally I have been asked to visit other states. Because I took responsibility for South, North, there was not a person with experience. Sometimes I had to go. I had even gone up to this side, Nepal, and that side, down Sri Lanka to assist or look for groups or even Bangladesh. So during 82 to 85 I have been extensive traveling, helping groups to make new products to sell at Oxfam Trading, make sure they get the payments everything on time. So Kuppusamy was happy to get this thing. But in the process we realized these people need a lot of training and capacity. So I was organizing market-oriented training programs, etc. basically for the staff of the NGOs. And those days in social work department, only community CB is there. So you don't talk beyond that. Now you got entrepreneurship, everything is there. So it is not there. So you have to train them. Train them and make them understand business to be done in a business way, but with the heart, not from the mind. So with lot of program was very much influenced. So between with year from 72 till 80s, late 80s, I used to go to all the social work colleges in Chennai. Because there are very few colleges in Madras University and in social work. First one is School of Social Work, Stella Maris and MCC. These are the three colleges. Now we got about 18-20 colleges in and out Madras alone is Alisha. So I used to go all these colleges, talk to students about economic activities, community organization. So that was a great experience and interesting thing. And during 80s, mid-80s when I was organizing, I had the workshop. In one of the workshops, one group in Andhra made the goods and they sent the goods to be sent to UK to some group in Calcutta. Because those days I did not have the marketing organization. These groups, for example, 40,000 rupees worth of goods they are sending to a group in Calcutta who will repack it and send it to UK and get the money into them. But that groups are lost somewhere. Who will take the responsibility? The producers are crying, the facilitator says, it does not, so we cannot help you. And buyer says, look, we cannot get the goods, so we cannot give you money. The sufferer is the producer. So then this made us to think. Then we said, this group has this capacity, that group. Why not to work together? Collectively we have a collective identity, collective strength, mutual, and it is possible. With this 84, I had organized a workshop in Chennai, where we got the groups, about 40 groups, 2 days interaction, and finally said we should create a network, create a collective identity. That is how the concept of SIPA has been brought in 84M. Then we said this idea is good, but how do you make this practical? My line manager of Oxfam in Delhi, he was very kind enough. Panchu would lead. I said as part of my activity, I will be so happy to lead. So we took 1 year, have a key committee, individuals collect ideas, do some desk research, etc. What to do. 85N, we created this network called SIPA, Federation of South India Producer Associations. Producer Associations, it's not Producers Association. When I say producer, not producer. It has a peculiar implication afterwards. Producer Association. Many people thought it's a producer association. Producer means what? Producer. The office was in Fima. The contact person was Panchu. There was a director by name Panchu. And all the film offices were in Kodambakkam, T-Nagar area. So Producer Association, T-Nagar, Panchu. So interesting. Big directors. Who is the biggest director you know? No. So he has sent his daughter to visit my office and find out how do we work together. How do you work together? What are the activities? Who is behind you, sir? And I tell them, look, this is a producer association.
Not artists. Not artists.
Artists. The same way, even income tax has invited me for a big estate. For tax collection itself. I just went as an ordinary person in my two-wheeler and they asked me yes sir, no sir, they gave me all the books. Finally somebody said, can you tell us about your office? I said, we have got 600 artisans, so much this way. I said, what? Similar film producers, sir? I said, no. They said, we mistake that we are a film producer network, sir. So So this meeting will not be helpful, sir. What is your turnover, sir? I said, say 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs. No, sir, we are looking for crores, 100 crores, 100 crores. Like that, many people mistake. So, 85 we started, 86 onwards, this network had an office and started doing the services. Started marketing, capacity building, quality, costing, pricing, all those things. We are organizing regularly. We got some initial funding, but as an Oxfam man, I was started being voluntary. Then this became taking a lot of my time. It's a good and bad. Good, I had the experience. I could start with the bad. Now I have got. So next 3-4 years, I was doing my Oxfam work, which is quite heavy, demanding, and this work. So it becomes morning 5 to 10 this work, between 9 to 4 that work sort of a thing, and sometimes interlinked. So my subsequent line managers were not happy. I thought I'm making money here also. They mistook and they said, you come to Delhi for the rest of the term. Then I said, rest of the term, if the long term I will come. Short term will be a problem because my term of contract is in Chennai with the suitcase office. Anyway, that has come to an end. So then I was wondering what to do. SIPA was growing, SIPA needs my service. And I said, I do not want to be a paid staff in my organization. I can help you. So I took a lot of consultancy work. One is, I was working, that was the time when Women Development Corporation came with an idea of self-help group. Before that, 80s and 70s, many NGOs having women's groups as network groups. They are not called as self-help groups. Mid-80s, IFA, International Fund for Agricultural Development, brought the concept of self-help groups. They tried in one district, Dharmaburi district, they tried as a pilot. They started working out. Then they wanted to do a bigger funds and bigger activities. They selected 3 districts. Those were South Anagha district, Salem district and Dharmaburi. And I was associated with SIPA, which is Association for Service Seva, one of the biggest NGO in India, based in Madurai, working with, now they've got about 67 projects. And they work in Tamil Nadu around more than 120 blocks on self-help groups. And I know the founder, we have been working together now for the last 40-50 years. And he has asked me, why don't you come and help? So I visited South Anagha district. We had agreed to work in South Anagha district. Except in the concept note, there was nothing. So we had evolved the training program, we had evolved the recruitment, how to encourage women to join the self-help groups. And it says the lowest rung, bottom level people we have to get it. So we, thank God, there are 4 girls, our friends from Madurai who are working as teachers, they came. And we triggered them, in a matter of 6 months, they created 30,000 self-help groups.
30,000 self-help groups.
And that we were so lucky to have one of the very, very good young lady officer, remember all of that. Her name is Jayashree Raghunandan. She has come and transferred from Northeast to Tamil Nadu. And she said she was a spinster at that time. She was willing to work with us. As project director, as we are the pilot project and we did a marvelous job. Without any inhibition as an IAS officer, she has worked like a participant. She has encouraged, we could interact, create a lot of programs. Anything we discuss, next day morning, she will make a note and put it on my table and go. That was such an officer. And we had, during those 2-3 years, SFS encouraged me excellently. And every 3 months we used to have